Just wanted
Okay.
to remind you about some of the differences between inna wa anna. So inna, you can use it for ibtida, starting, and you can use it for al-qawl, بعد القول, for يعني a statement or a saying, a qawl, a saying, not a hikaya. Don't say حكي إنه. You say قيل إنه, but you'd say حكي أنه. Oh, ذكر أنه. So not with a zikr or a hikaya, with a qawl in particular, any form of qawl. You say inna. Uh, Also
Mhm.
for jawab al-qasam, responding to a swear, wal asr, by the asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. The human is indeed in loss. And could be for ta'lil. I don't have an example in my mind though. As for, and maybe there's more. As for anna, it is laysa lil ibtida. Don't start with it. Should have something in front of it. يعني أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. You don't just say أن محمد رسول الله. You realize that something's missing here. You don't start here. And أن also, both of them are for tawkid. Tawkid. Also, أن is for tawkid. Also, أن can be for ta'lil too. They can both be for ta'lil and tawkid. And أن is harf mastari, an infinitive particle. And we'll see if it has more things too. I gave the example for you for the qawl in Surah Al-Baqarah. قال إنه يقول إنها, etc. الآية. قال إنه يقول إنها. No. جواب القسم, like والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر. Hmm. For Tokid, how's it for Tokid? You say Inna Zaydan Qa'imun. Where's the emphasis? The emphasis is in the fact that the khabar is marfu'. The khabar is marfu'. Inna is what's making the khabar marfu'. Khabar is inferior to the ism in meaning, in rank in the sentence. Yet its i'rab is superior, so that emphasizes the khabar itself. Because rafa' is superior to nasb. Yeah, we can see more about that another time too. So I just wanted to remind you some of those. Any question? No problem.
I find my vocabulary is like I don't, maybe because I don't use enough Arabic words, but I find myself having to go back. Like like when you use the word mukhaffafa, I had wait a minute, and I had to go back and okay, yeah, okay. So I don't because I know it. So do you have any advice about that? I know we talked about a similar thing in terms of vocabulary before.
Yeah, my advice is to just stay busy with the Arabic. Memorize your metin. For example, read through one of the dictionaries. Read Mukhtar al-Sahah. If you
Okay,
want, compare Mukhtar al-Sahah and Al-Misbah al-Munir.
okay,
That might be very good for you. Both of them are small dictionaries. Al-Misbah al-Munir is like a sharh for Mukhtar al-Sahah. Then it's not a sharh for it, but it's like it is.
okay.
They have almost all the same entries, and one of them just has more information than the other.
Miss.
Well, Misbah
Okay,
has more entries.
okay.
Yani if you can speak Arabic or be in an Arabic speaking environment, then this will help you. And just stay busy in the Arabic all the time, so that those things will stay in your heart.
Yeah, it's when in speaking, I'm thinking about the like speaking is even harder because then it's like it's actually live, so to speak, and I'm like conjugate. I have to think about it
Yeah.
in real time, so to speak. But
Yes.
and then I'm
Yeah, that's
liable
really
to
what's
make
gonna
a
help you speak too, though, because it's gonna break you.
yeah, I'm liable to make a silly mistake and
Yeah,
an
that's
Arab
what's
will say,
gonna.
"What? What?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
from my experience, that's what the person has to not fear. He has to let it, let those mistakes happen, so he can fix them. Because if he
mashallah,
doesn't, then he won't speak enough, so that he can break those mistakes. Reminds me of when I was trying to teach my son how to ride a bike for the first time. He would not take his foot off the ground. Yeah, so you're never
mashallah,
gonna go anywhere, Habibi. MashaAllah.
mashallah,
Subhanallah.
subhanallah.
Like it was stuck there.
Barakallahu feek.
Ameen wa feek. All right. So we started going over inna wa akhawatuha. Those are al-ahruf al-mushabbahatu bil af'al. The particles that have the semblance of verbs. So we took a look at their meanings. We just read the metin there. He said, الثاني إن وأن للتأكيد ولكن للاستدراك وكأن للتشبيه أو الظن وليت للتمني. So لكن for amendation, كأن for comparison or a possibility, الظن يعني an assumption. Uh, well, the Arabic word is ظن. That's what Ibn Hisham said. Alhamdulillah.
Yarhamukallah.
يهديكم الله ويصلح بالكم. So the meaning of possibility here in this translation is supposition or supposing. وليت لتمني for wishful thinking. ليت الشباب يعود يوما, like that line of poetry. Bismillah. ليت الشباب يعود يوما. If only youth would come back one day. Mm. ولعل للترجي, for he says hope. Taraji, which is توقع المحبوب. المستقرب. المستقرب توقع المحبوب المستقرب حصوله. Expecting the preferred thing that is bound to happen. Expecting التوقع means expectation. توقع المحبوب. Mahbub is يعني what is preferred or beloved. المستقرب حصوله. That one which its occurrence is يعني on the horizon, on the verge, or at least deemed so. So they translated that here as hope. توقع المحبوب. نحو such as لعل الله يرحمنا. Like لعل الله يرحمنا. Perhaps Allah will have mercy on us. أو الإشفاق وهو توقع المكروه. Or sympathy, which is expecting the disliked. Sympathy, which is expecting the disliked. Yani, that's my translation of Fakihi's words here. توقع المكروه. Such as لعلك باخع نفسك. It means perhaps you're killing yourself. Yani, you're grieving over these ones. Yani, so it's like having, according to the translation, I'm trying to, yani, it wouldn't have occurred to me to translate it as sympathy. So I'm just here putting the words together. لعلك باخع نفسك. I'm not sure how I would translate ishfaq. What comes to my mind? Yeah, having pity. Yeah, that's what ishfaq means. Ishfaq means pitying, to pity someone. Yes. Say ashfiq alay. Yani, give me a break. Have pity on me. ولا يكون الترجي إلا في الشيء الممكن بخلاف التمني. فإنه يكون فيه وفي الممتنع فافترقا. And the taraji, which is the hope, taraji pertains to what can be. You hope for what can be. You don't hope for what is impossible. Like لعل الله يرحمنا. لعل الله يرحمنا. That's hope for something that can be. As opposed to, what did he say? The tamanni. The tamanni is the wishful thinking. This could be later, could be for something possible, or could be for what is not possible. Like later shababa yarudu yawma. If only youth would come back one day. So they say this is not. Yani, if I'm translating, this is not hope. If only youth would come back one day, that's not hope, because it's not possible. It's just wishful thinking, according to the translation. I think that's a good word, actually. Wishful thinking. Hope, sympathy. I think hope works also. Sympathy, I think that works. Yani, I don't really see a difference between sympathy and pity. فإنه يكون فيه وفي الممتنع فافترقا. وأما قول فرعون لعلي أبلغ أسباب السماوات فجهل منه وإفك قاله في المغني. So now I'm reading from Faki's words here. I'm reading from Faki's words here. So he says, he has a comment. He says, now what about what Fir'aun said? Fir'aun said, لعلي أبلغ أسباب السماوات. He said to his minister, Haman, he told him, Haman, build for me a tower into the heavens so that I would yani, reach and build for me a this is the meanings. I don't find it really easy to translate verbatim. Build for me a tower لعلي أبلغ أسباب السماوات so that I can reach the sky. He said, I want to see the God of Moses. That's what he did. Some scholars they said this Pharaoh was actually stupid. Uh, so Al-Faki he says, what does this mean though? Because la'alla, what's la'alla for? La'alla is for hope. Hope is for what can be. And here is something that won't be. Pharaoh is trying to reach the sky in this way to see the God of Moses. He says, for jahlun minhu, this is ignorance on his part. Oh, ifkun, or he was just lying. Okay, mashallah. And one of the things they said to indicate his stupidity, that Pharaoh, was that he saw the dream he had a nightmare about the Israelites. So that's when he started to massacre their sons. So he put officers over the midwives, the ones who help the women deliver their babies, to ensure that if any Israelite woman gives birth to a boy, he will be killed. It was the nurse's duty to kill him, the midwife. So he put officers on them for this. So that's what he did until he almost exterminated their slaves, because the Israelites were their slaves. So the nobles of amongst the Copts, they came to the Pharaoh and they told him, soon we're not going to have any slaves left because of what you are doing. So he said, okay, we're going to kill him 1 year and let him survive 1 year. So there would be a year when all the boys would be massacred, and then a year when the boys would be allowed to stay alive. Moses was born in a year of massacre, and Aaron was born in a year where they could stay alive. Anyway, the point is, why he was doing that, I missed one thing. Because his fortune tellers, his dream interpreters told him, the meaning of your dream is that an Israelite will emerge and he will be the reason for your downfall. That's Moses. So he feared this. So that's what he started doing, massacring their sons until they complained about the loss of their slaves. So then he started doing it every other year. So some of the scholars they said doing this shows how stupid he is, because either he believes his fortune tellers or not. So if he believes them, then means it's inevitable. What he is doing will not help. If he does not believe them, then why is he killing all of these children? طيب. So he said, لعل ولعل للترجي أو للإشفاق أو لتعليل, or justification. Justification, mm, I would say reasoning, ta'lil, giving the reason. Maybe that's close. I just find there's a difference there. Justification. The justification means, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here. Justification means to show why you are right. Reasoning just saying why you did something, not if you're right or not. So la'alla is for ta'lil, reasoning. Uh, he has an ayah here, but there's one we take all the time. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Fasting has made obligatory on you. Fasting has been ordained upon you, like it was ordained upon those before you. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So that you may reach God-fearingness. لَعَلَّكُمْ. For the reason. The reason being, yani, so that you can reach God-fearingness. Now, people usually they translate this though as perhaps. That's how they translate it. So maybe perhaps means so that. Perhaps you will achieve God fearingness, meaning so that. But I don't know if that's clear though. And if you say perhaps that's clearly indicates reasoning. I think it indicates something else. Like possibility, maybe, perhaps. Okay. So
Uh,
yeah,
I'm sorry,
no
not to
good.
be picky about so that. I think so that is the conclusion, such that so that, but perhaps is not conclusive. Uh, in, in terms of in terms of how it's used. Uh, do this. Do uh, go to the store so that you could get water. Go
Yeah,
to the store, perhaps you can get water. It's
yeah,
it, it's there is a slight, there's a subtle difference in that.
yeah,
That's my understanding, and I'm only talking from the point of view of English, of course.
yeah. Yeah, no, but I agree there. I think that's the point here. We're trying to pinpoint the translation. Yeah, I agree. So I would say reasoning or something like that before justification, or and also so that as opposed to perhaps. Yeah, or
No,
something like so that with something with the meaning of for.
no,
ولعل للترجي أو الإشفاق أو التعليل. آه. So he says, فينصبن المبتدأ فينصبن المبتدأ اسما لهن ويرفعن الخبر خبرا لهن. This group of operators affects the accusative state in the subject, which is termed its subject or its noun. the noun of whichever of the particles is in command here or governing, and affects the nominative state in the predicate, which is termed its predicate, its khabar. Okay. I'll draw your attention here to, firstly, that translation is fine, I suppose. I'll draw your attention to something that Ibn Hisham does here. So here's his word. He said, فَيَنْصِبْنَا فَيَنْصِبْنَا المبتدأ اسما لهن ويرفعن الخبر خبرا لهن. يعني he's referring to these particles in this verb with the noon, noonun niswa. His other option is to say fatansibu, a hiya. Fatansibu hiya. Noon hunna. This is valid. More frequently, you would see it as fatansibu. Fatansibu lisma. فتنصب المبتدا اسما لها اسما لها. But he said فينصبن المبتدا اسما لهن. That's valid. So just wanted to point it out to you. For what is غير عاقل, you can say for what is غير عاقل and it's مجموع, a plural. You can say here, or you can say hunna. Mostly you're going to see here. Okay, that's clear. Yani,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Afwan. I don't. What does that word mean? Young Sibutna.
Yansibna, they affect nasb.
Okay.
They do nasb in the on the mubtada.
Okay. Okay.
So was, for example, Zaydun qa'imun as a mubtada and a khabar. Then inna came and became inna Zaydan qa'imun.
No.
Yani, when it was Zaydun qa'imun, then Zayd was affecting the khabar. The mubtada was affecting the khabar. The mubtada was what was putting rafa', putting the khabar in a state of rafa'. And the ibtida is what was putting the mubtada in a state of rafa'. Then came inna, or any of its sisters. And it completely took over the governing of the words in the sentence. So where the mubtada was affecting the khabar, it is no longer affecting the khabar. Rather, inna is affecting the ism and inna is affecting the khabar. Inna is now making the ism in the state of nasb and making the khabar in the state of rafa. So inna or any of its sisters. فينصبن فينصبن المبتدأ اسما لهن. يعني they assimilate the mubtada. يعني they make the mubtada mansub by making the mubtada their ism. That's what I meant by assimilate. They make the mubtada their ism. It's not mubtada anymore. ويرفعن الخبر. They make the خبر مرفوع, not the ism. خبرا لهن as their خبر. يعني they assimilate the entire sentence.
Uh, Naam, barakallahu feek. That
آمين وفيك.
that la and I'm trying to understand why he used hunna here
Mm-hmm.
and not like because he said a young slibna instead of fatan slibna. I
Oh,
want to afwan
if he were to use the ta, he would say fatansibu, no noon.
fatan sibu. Nah.
Here,
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Uh, fatan slibna. So he used hunna there to
because he said yansibna, not
okay.
tansibu.
Okay.
If he said fatansibu, he would have said laha.
Okay.
فتنصب المبتدأ اسما لها وترفع الخبر خبرا لها. But he didn't say it that way. He said it another valid way. فينصبن. It's as if he personified these particles by bringing the noon of women.
MashaAllah.
Uh,
That's a style that I gotta. That's a
yeah, it was something similar to that you might recognize.
qalil.
I believe you taught me this one. Uh, uh, here. أعوذ بكلمات بكلمات الله. Oh no, you taught me التامة من كل شيطان وهامة ومن كل عين لامة. Okay, not that one. But you can say بكلمات الله التامات also. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامة. Then it's like you're saying here. تامة. If you say أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات, then it's like you're saying hunna.
No,
So that's the difference here. Similar difference.
you remember that, huh? From a long
Yes,
time ago.
alhamdulillah.
I think I got the spelling wrong on one part. I don't remember what that was a long time ago, but subhanallah. But
MashaAllah.
it was still part of the dua that I may have shared, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Thanks for
Amin wa iyaakum.
subhanallah. Yeah, I
Mm.
remember writing something like that, and
Yes, alhamdulillah.
mashallah,
Uh,
jazakumullah khairan.
Amin wa iyaakum. So that's valid. You can say it this way or that way. There's hadiths that have those types of things in there. Hunna instead of hiya. And since we're here, what did Yusuf say? He said, إني رأيت أحد عشر كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم رأيتهم لي ساجدين رأيتهم لي ساجدين. So what would you usually say? رأيتها رأيتها لي ساجدة or رأيتها لي ساجدات. So he said رأيتهم. Even use the masculine version here. Even رأيتهن li sajidat, you could say. Because Shams wal Qamar wal Nujum or Kawakib. But he said رأيتهم li sajidin. طيب. Why he said that, we will review inshallah ta'ala. For one thing, there is a dialect in Arabic that speaks like that normally. That's called لغة أكلون البراغيث. لغة أكلون البراغيث. أكلوني أكلوني البراغيث. That's a dialect. أكلوني البراغيث means the fleas ate me. The fleas ate me. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. There's a wow here referring to the fleas. Anyway, also, I'm not talking about this ayah, but when you are translating into Arabic, could be that you're translating from yani, expressing or reflecting what one was saying in his own language. Then when you translate it into Arabic, it comes out in some way. So he says, "In lam taqtarim bihinna ma." This holds as long as these operators are not paired with the particle ma. Okay, paired. Okay. Taqtarin. It's not too bad. If they are not, I would usually, or it would come to me to say, if they are not associated with, like how the qareen is your associate jinn. In lam taqtarin bihinna ma al harfiyah. If they are not associated with ma, the particle, NaHw, like أنما إلهكم إله واحد. Yeah. يعني أنما إلهكم إنما الله إله واحد. That's what they said here. إنما الله إله واحد. Um, where's my other copy? طيب. So it looks like what's supposed to be here is إنما الله إله واحد. Where's the proof here? Why is not Allah? Because we have inna here. Because ma deactivates the particle. إلا ليت فيجوز الأمران. Okay, so ma will deactivate any of these particles. It says, as for later, or in, when the latter is stripped of its double noon, both possibilities hold. وإن المكسورة مخففة. As for later, وإن, when the latter is stripped of its double noon. معنى هذا أنه كما يجوز الإعمال والإهمال في ليتما كذلك يجوز في إن المكسورة إذا خففت. إن لم تقترن بهن ما الحرفية إلا ليت فيجوز الأمران. Okay, so What the translator did here is overlap something. So what Ibn Hisham is saying is this holds as long as these operators are not paired with the particle ma. Okay, yani like innama Allahu ilahun wahid, meaning ma deactivates the particle. Except later, it says in the Arabic illa, not amma. So they said as for. Usually as for is being translated from amma. So what's in the Arabic is illa, not amma. As for, because what he's saying is ma deactivates the particle except later. When you say later ma, when later it has ma connected to it, it could be active or inactive, operating or inoperative, yani turned on or turned off. Period. But what they wanted to do was, since in has the same rule as latama, they wanted to condense both of them into one sentence. So they ended this sentence here, innama Allahu ilahun wahid, where really it's finished over here, except for latama. You can do it either way with latama, period. And then there's the next sentence after that. And in is like latama. In, which is the abbreviated form of in. It is like latama that it can be operating or inoperative. Hmm. So because they have the same judgment, latama and in, the translator wanted to put them together in one sentence. Whereas what Ibn Hisham really did was talk about laytama with the sentence before it. Yeah, that sentence is not really over. He finished that and then he said, and in is like laytama. So that's how this translation came out like this. As for, yeah, and then they had to put as for in order to translate it the way they wanted it to come out. As for later and in, they said, when the latter is stripped of its doubled noon, both possibilities hold, yani being effective or ineffective.
Is that where Ibn Hisham he said فيجوز الأمران?
Yeah, for Yajuzul Amran goes back to later ma. Illa later, meaning when it's with ma. Fayajuzul Amran. Then he separated it in the explanation. Wa amma in, as for in, so the as for goes with in. As for goes with in. And uh, later is supposed to have illa, except later. Both possibilities hold. So this holds true as long as these operators are not paired with the particle ma, like innama Allahu ilahun wahid, except Later, both possibilities hold. Meaning when you say later ma. And then as for in, وأما إن فتعمل. Hold on. Oh, sorry. كائن. No, no, no. Sorry. That's wrong. My eye slipped there. I looked at the wrong thing. كائن المكسورة مخففة. Like in. So not as for, just except. It should be except. Except later. Both possibilities hold. Like in. The lightened one. That's what Ibn Hisham said. كائن المكسورة مخففة. Perhaps we should stop there.